Back to the Sleeman Center here in the first intermission. Not a good one for the Guelph Storm, but guess what? We got 40 minutes of play still in this game. Lots can happen. Joining me now, our color analyst, Ryan Drury. Talk about a little Guelph Storm alumni news this week. We all know the troubles of the Vancouver Canucks, but an opportunity for the former coach and former owner here of the Guelph Storm, Scott Walker, on the bench now as an assistant coach and joining one of the players he coached here in that 2014 OHL championship run in Jason Dickinson.
Yeah, and hopefully he can maybe tap into that potential that Dickinson has and get him going a little more in Vancouver. Just 1 goal and 2 assists so far on the season. I think that it's safe to say we all feel, certainly the fans in Guelph anyway, after watching him for a long time, that he's got plenty more in the tank than that. But Scott Walker, it's a great story, right? He was drafted by the Canucks, played there a number of years, bounced around the NHL a little bit, and funnily enough, his new boss on the bench, Bruce Boudreau, that was the last head coach he played for in the NHL, of course, when Bruce was coaching my Washington Capitals back in the day. And I remember Scott as a great, gritty player. He was a good penalty killer. And now, I mean, you look at the success he's had coaching-wise, that 2014 championship here in Guelph that Jason Dickinson was a part of. He had a big impact on him, so that's a storyline as well. And Walker previously served as a pro scout with the Canucks for a number of years before briefly joining the Arizona Coyotes organization under John Chaika at the time, and now he's returning back to Vancouver, almost back to his roots, if you will, in the NHL. And I think it's a good move for the Canucks. I mean, it can't get much worse. I feel bad for Travis Green, who's a great guy, and he's a big reason that my cousin Bradshaw went there as an assistant coach. So you feel bad for a guy like that, but I do like the move by the Canucks. I think Bruce Boudreau is one of the most well-liked coaches in the NHL. His players love him wherever he goes, and I think Scott Walker can have a similar impact.
Well, it was one of those things. I know life got busy for him here coaching the Guelph Storm, and then went with Hockey Canada as well at the World Juniors. Some were surprised when he stepped down here from the coaching, but obviously the bug to still be a coach is there, and there we see him back on the bench.
Absolutely. I mean, guys like him, they never really lose that. I think, you know, Scott's a guy that was able to step away for a little bit, get involved with some other things in terms of, you know, running the team a little bit more, being a little more behind the scenes. But I think that guys like him that have played at the highest level, had success at the highest level, and also, of course, it helps the familiarity with the organization. I think that itch never really goes away. I mean, even look at Bruce Boudreau. A lot of people thought after Minnesota that he was maybe done as a head coach, did a lot of work as an analyst over the last couple of years, but here he is. Gabby's back on the bench, and Scott, I'm sure, is very pleased to be there with him.
You know, and I guess it's always funny how small the hockey world is. His good buddy Todd Harvey, who was also assistant coach here, they're both Cambridge natives. He's still part of the Vancouver organization as well.
Yeah, it's amazing, like you said, Trev. I mean, the hockey world, it seems big at times, but behind the scenes, it is awful small. And Todd Harvey, obviously a part of the great success and teams over the years here with the Guelph Storm. I know the fans will remember him as well. And him and Scott are going to try and right the ship in Vancouver because, as I mentioned with Steve, toward the end of the period here, I mean, it has not gone well there. There's a ton of talent on that team. You can talk about the Pedersens, of course, Dickinson there, the former Storm player, Quinn Hughes, Demko. This team has way more potential than they're showing, and hopefully Scott Walker can be a big part of the successful turnaround of the Canucks. All right,
Ryan, thanks for your thoughts as always. Stay with us, everyone. We still got more here in the first intermission. This is Guelph Storm Hockey on Rogers TV, brought to you by Mark Wilson's Better Used Cars. Stay with us.